صل على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has elevated the status of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Allah Azza wa Jal has decided that until Yawm al-Qiyamah, anyone who wishes to be successful needs to do it by following the footsteps of this Prophet. The Quran is filled with praise of the Prophet ﷺ and mention of his status. The ahadith are filled with the status of Muhammad ﷺ. Our responsibility as followers is to hold on to him as our means of salvation, as our means of success, as our means of honor, our means of respect, because we will get all of these things through following the teachings of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is no concept of respect or honor for this ummah without following the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam that was sent to guide this ummah, that was sent to lead this ummah. Now, one of the ways that we can do this, and it's a very important way, is that we follow his sunnahs in our daily lives. Throughout the day and night, there are many simple things that we can do which may not necessarily seem very significant to us, but they are very important in the sight of Allah. And they could make the difference between a person becoming beloved to Allah or becoming distanced from Allah. Let me give you an example. We learn as Muslims that we do all important things, good things, we do them with our right hand. And so we eat with our right hand. We don't eat with our left hand. When we enter a good place, like the masjid, we enter with our right foot. When we leave with our left foot. When you put on your shoes, you put on the right one first. And when you take them off, you take off the left one first. When you put on clothes, you start with your right side. You put your right arm in the right sleeve first, before putting your left arm in the left sleeve. These might seem like very simple things, but because the Prophet ﷺ has done them and taught them to us, they become extremely important. So someone might say, what difference does it make? Well, the difference it makes is that one action, that simple action like stepping out of the masjid or into the masjid, putting on your shoes or taking them off, putting on your clothes or removing your clothes, that one simple act, which would not take you any more time than it would take you anyways, can make you beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And rejecting it, ignoring it just because you don't feel like it, could be a show of disrespect or of neglect to the teaching of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that could push you away from Allah. I remember once I was giving a talk in one place in Canada, and there were many government representatives there. One of those government representatives ended up running as a candidate for Prime Minister. So he came to see me. This is a few years later, after he had heard the talk. I had forgotten that he was in that talk. So when he was introduced to me, he said, "Yes, I've met you before. Did you give a talk at such and such mosque in such and such year?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I was in the audience, and you said a few things that were very simple. You were speaking to the Muslims in the audience, but I heard those things, and since then I've been implementing them." He said, "Since that talk, every time I've entered a mosque, I've always entered with my right foot. and I've exited with my left foot. And he said, you may not recall this, but after that talk, you gave me a copy of a translation of the Quran. And I asked you, how am I supposed to treat this? So you told me that always keep it at the highest place in your shelf. Don't put any other book on top of it. So he said, since then I've always kept the Quran at the highest, at the topmost shelf, and I've never put another book on top of it. He's not a Muslim. But he said, you conveyed a sense of sacredness to this. I did not want to break that. I did not want to breach the sacredness that you have for this book. So I also treat it with respect. So they're simple things, but they're very, very important. Now what happens, and don't take this in the wrong way, but many of us when we're leaving the musalla, we're not even thinking of which foot we're exiting with. It's a time to earn a good deed. It's a time to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's an occasion. It's not going to take you any more time. Or many of us, when we put our shoes on, we put on the left foot first. Why? Our brains should be hardwired by now to always do these things with the right foot first. It shouldn't happen even by mistake. Even by forgetfulness, it shouldn't happen. Just like a person who is right-handed and they always eat with their right hand, they will not forgetfully start eating with their left hand because they're just so used to doing that with their right hand. A person who is used to throwing the ball with the right hand is not going to accidentally throw it with their left hand. This is a reflection of our not paying attention. All it takes is a little bit of attention. And it takes having the value of these acts in our hearts. The Prophet ﷺ taught us, when you go to sleep, lie down on your right side. He taught us that when you eat, sit down and eat. When you drink, sit down and drink. So now we understand sometimes time is very short. You're rushing for salat, you want to get a quick bite. So it's convenient to just eat your sandwich or whatever while you're walking for salat. But this is not the etiquette that we were taught. We are not just people who fulfill our needs in any way that is convenient or any way that makes sense at that time. We've actually been taught a way, and that's what makes us that's what distinguishes us from the rest of humanity. We have a distinct way of doing everything. And each of those ways is special. Each of those ways is important. Each of those ways is precious and valuable, and we don't just do it. We protect those ways. And those ways are preserved by us practicing them. And the Prophet ﷺ has given so much importance to those ways that he says that a person who revives a sunnah of mine after it's been neglected, a person who revives a sunnah of mine after it's been neglected, they will get the reward of a martyr in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. من أحيا سنة من سنتي قد أميتت من بعدي فله أجر الشهيد. Imagine, you get the reward of sacrificing your life in the path of Allah just for reviving the sunnah. In one hadith, the Prophet ﷺ mentions another kind of sunnah of his. It's a different type of sunnah. It's a sunnah of the heart. He tells Anas radiallahu anhu that if you can start your day and end your day clearing your heart of any ill feelings towards anyone. يا بني إن استطعت أن تصبح وتمسي وليس في قلبك غش لأحد فافعل. If you can do that, you start your day with your heart being clean, clear. You may have had some fights, some disagreements, some rough moments with someone the previous day, but now you're starting your day, clear your mind and clear your head of those. And when you end your day, you're getting rid of all of those ill feelings that may have accumulated just from negative interactions. So if you can do that, you should. Ya bunayya wa inna dhalika min sunnati. This is also from my sunnah. Then he says, Man ahabba sunnati faqad ahabbani. Whoever loves my sunnah has loved me. Wa man ahabbani kana ma'iya fil jannah. And one who loves me will be with me in Jannah. So simple. By loving the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we are loving the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and by loving Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we are securing our place with him in Jannah. So it's a very easy path. It's a very simple path. And for a Muslim, there is no other way of doing things but the sunnah way. So if there are sunnahs that you know, don't delay in implementing them. Implement them right away. And if there are sunnahs that you don't know, learn about them. There are many books that are written on the daily sunnahs, how the Prophet ﷺ did certain things. And we do those things also. Every day we do those things. But for a Muslim, what makes it important for us, what makes it special for us is that we're doing it the way our Prophet ﷺ did it. We're doing it the way Nabi ﷺ has demonstrated it to us. And it's all a part of Islam. And never ever allow yourself to think or allow yourself to say it's only a sunnah. So what will happen if I don't do it? No. Every sunnah is valuable. Every sunnah is precious. Every sunnah is important. Every sunnah brings us close to Allah. Every sunnah brings us closer to Jannah. And negligence of sunnah is a very serious thing. And we should ask ourselves, if I didn't do it the way Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, then whose way am I doing it by? If I'm not imitating him in that act, who am I imitating? So it would be a big loss for us that instead of copying the one who is beloved to Allah, we're copying someone who is despised by Allah. So these are some things, some very practical, basic things that we should have learned, and if we haven't learned them, we should learn them. And if we have learned them, we should implement them. We should never ever leave them out. It should never be that we enter the masjid with our left foot. It should never be that we exit with our right foot. It should never be that we put our shoes on with our left foot first. It should never be that we enter the bathroom with our right foot and exit with our left. These things we should train ourselves and get in the habit. It should never be that even by mistake we eat or drink with our left hand. It should never be that we're voluntarily, without any real serious reason, walking around and eating our food or drinking our drinks. We have been taught a way to do these things. And every one of those ways has khair in it. It's another discussion altogether how beneficial this is for us in dunya, how beneficial this is for our bodies. That's another discussion. But we don't wait to hear those things to practice a sunnah. We just do it because it's sunnah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to follow the footsteps of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in every aspect of his life. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in.